Alright, can't put that on the show, even though it would be a funny intro. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic, back with Rain City Toys Arvy. We are back for another episode of the TWC Show. We're going to try to keep it short. We're recording this post-midnight. We had a long day, a couple of side missions, but we're here.
A lot of side missions.
A lot of side missions.
Should have kept the $10.
I don't know. You want to hit the slots.
You should have stopped me.
I mean, it was a sad day. Toronto was out of the playoffs.
Who?
Toronto, the Maple Leafs.
That was a sad day for us.
It was sad. Go Canada.
Maybe for you, not for me.
Hi, Emily Agard. We're just going to quickly, because we're tired and it's late, and we are
drunk,
tired and it's late, we're going to quickly do predictions for Double or Nothing, because that's this upcoming Saturday. And happening on the exact same day, which I think is intentional at this point, WWE is hosting a Saturday night's main event as well. So
is
Saturday,
Double or Nothing like a big pay-per-view?
It's a pay-per-view. So that was the first pay-per-view AEW ever did when they first did pay-per-views. It was all in, which wasn't AEW, and then AEW started, and their first pay-per-view was double.
So
Nothing.
would this be equivalent to what? SummerSlam? A WrestleMania?
Not WrestleMania. I think the WrestleMania is all in. I think prior to All In being a thing in the UK and not being like an event that started 2 years ago.
Was this supposed to be in England?
I feel like
is this England one?
No. So the England one's usually All In. Right? They did Wembley and All In.
So name there's 4?
There's like 6 now.
What is
There's Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Which happens usually around
All In.
April, May. There's All In, which only started happening in 2 years ago once they started getting a Wembley.
Is there an All Out?
All Out, which usually happens around like September. Full Gear, which usually happens in November.
Okay.
Now in December we have Wrestle Dream.
I don't count that.
Then there's been the Forbidden Doors that are usually in July-ish, which is
I
the
don't count that.
New Japan versus AEW.
No, I just remember the Full Gear.
Then
all
there is the new one that they've done for the last couple of years, which is World's End, which is at the end of the year. And then they have Dynasty, which has happened the last 2 years, which is like in February.
I asked you for the main 4, not all year.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know what people would consider the main 4 anymore.
Like, what's the WrestleMania and
All In would be the WrestleMania.
SummerSlam.
Well, you can't compare it to WWE. Just because WWE has these doesn't mean they're supposed to have these too.
Okay.
But I would say if there was a WrestleMania, it'd probably be All In now. I think prior to there being an All In existing, it was probably Double or Nothing.
When's their England show?
No, it's not in England this year. This year, All In's going to be in Texas.
Oh yeah, when's their Texas show?
In a couple of months.
Have they sold 70,000 seats?
I don't know. I don't think that's how much it's... Now you got me all I didn't do my research before this, put me on the spot.
Well, you are the Wrestling Classic, so you should know this.
Yeah, but it's AEW.
Wow.
Which no.
It's AEW.
No, AEW is great. I just mean this just hasn't been the best product as of right now, right? Like,
did you guys hear that? This isn't the best product.
You're the guy that doesn't like it. I watch Dynamite every week, every collision I can. This guy. I'm looking forward to Double or Nothing.
Did you guys hear him? He said it's on the same night as Saturday Night Main Event.
So we're going to talk about that too. All In Texas is July 12th, so it's actually pretty soon as well. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
And then Forbidden Door this year is in the UK.
Okay.
That's the one where they usually had the AEW wrestlers face the wrestlers from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Do you remember that? Well, and the first time that happened, and then Okada came out and you said, who was this guy? I tell that story all the time because I'm like, that was the moment I realized you can be a wrestling fan, a big wrestling fan, as you can tell. You can watch WWE, you can watch AEW, and still not know what's happening in New Japan. And that's okay. And that maybe I'm too much in the bubble because I know who Okada is, but hey, some people actually don't. Which is fascinating to me because I feel like, sometimes we forget that.
You kind of rambled there. After you told me when it was, I think you didn't hear me when I said I don't care.
Oh, well, hope you care now.
No, okay. I still don't.
2024, Revolution's one, and I should have remembered.
Are we still talking about this?
Because Revolution happens every March.
We're done.
Okay, I want to know all the AEW reviews. They have Revolution.
I asked you about the attendance.
They have Dynasty. They have Double or Nothing. They have Forbidden Door. They have All In. They have All Out. They have Wrestle Dream. They have Full Gear, and they have World's End. Full Gear, Double or Nothing, All In, and Revolution are probably the big 4. Because 3 of those have been happening for the longest. Revolution, Full Gear, and Double or Nothing. And All In is a big show. There we go. Done. All Out's been long too, but it's like a week after All In every year.
I just asked you if you think that Texas show is going to sell out.
Yeah, I think it'll sell out.
Really?
Yeah.
We got 70,000 people. Are you going to go?
Maybe, actually. Potentially.
You hear that, folks? Such a diehard that he's potentially going to go.
I might. Support my people. All in.
Okay.
I'm all in, baby. What are we doing? It's late. Let's go to the predictions for this upcoming AEW pay-per-view.
Dude, I don't even know who's fighting.
I'm going to tell you. Okay. Double or Nothing 2025 taking place in Arizona, Glendale, Arizona at the Desert Diamond Arena. Owen Hart tournament's wrapping up. We got world title matches, stuff like that. So for the men's Owen Hart tournament, the finals, the winner of this gets a title shot at All In Texas.
Does the winner get a trophy?
Trophy, belt, all that stuff. Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay.
Who's AEW's world champion right now?
John Moxley. It's in a briefcase.
Oh yeah, no one's seen it, right?
Yeah, no one's seen it for months.
So Hangman Page versus Ospreay.
They're both baby faces, both top guys in the company.
I'll pick Will Ospreay. I'll pick Will Ospreay.
I'm gonna go with Will Ospreay too. I know I know it's like in Texas and cowboy shit and Hangman Adam Page kind of makes sense, but I just feel like Ospreay actually is their most popular star right now, and he needs to be the world champion. And I feel like him winning, for me personally, is cooler than Hangman winning it again.
Cool.
Do you agree or disagree?
I don't care. Okay,
the women's Owen Hart tournament. The winner faces most likely Toni Storm at All In Texas. Is Jamie Hayter versus the undefeated. Never been pinned since she signed to AEW. Even when she lost her New Japan Strong title recently, she never got pinned. It was Mina Shirakawa, Mercedes Moné.
Because we love you, Mercedes.
We love you.
Yeah, a lot. I'm going to pick Mercedes because I think she's a bigger draw versus Toni Storm.
Yeah, I think Jamie Hayter's cool. I think Jamie Hayter's doesn't feel the same like she did before she got injured. But I'm also going to go with Mercedes Moné. Because I think Mercedes versus Toni is a big deal. And
is she still the boss?
She's the CEO.
What's the difference?
You tell me, what's the difference between a boss and a CEO?
Yeah, and her gimmick. What does she do differently?
She's a CEO now. She wears different outfits. She talks different. She wrestles. She's undefeated.
Is her dance still the same?
But no, it was different. WWE's more like this stuff, and now it's like this thingy. And,
this thing.
Why is this so late that I don't even know what's going on here? Also, we found out, since we're sticking with the women really quickly, that Mina Shirakawa, the one that I said lost the belt for Mercedes, is facing Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship.
She beat Mercedes, this girl?
So no, Azumi, spelled AZM, Mercedes, and Mina had a triple threat in New Japan. The show took place in LA. But
so the other girl got pinned. But
Mina got pinned, AZM won the title.
Hasn't been pinned.
Mercedes hasn't been pinned. Okay. So technically she's still undefeated. But
so
she lost one of her 4 belts, so it's very depressing. She had 4 belts, now she only has 3.
She had a New Japan belt?
Yes. Okay. That she's had for a very long time. Now she's finally lost it.
Okay.
She never lost it.
So the girl that got pinned is also fighting?
The girl that got pinned that made her lose the belt is facing Toni Storm.
Toni Storm is going to win.
Toni Storm has to walk in All In with the belt. The only thing that could happen here that could mix things
up... What's the storyline here? Why is she fighting Toni Storm?
Because Toni Storm had like a bunch of eliminator matches. So eliminator matches in AEW are you face the champion, and if you win the match, you got a title shot. So Toni Storm kept facing like, women in Fatal 4-Way matches and other type of matches and kept winning. And then Mina finally won.
Does the record still matter?
For what?
In
no,
AEW?
They don't.
They should count.
They don't.
Wins and losses?
That doesn't matter no more.
Okay.
It's not a sports-based company.
Well, they started it off like
but
that.
Toni Storm's going to win. The only thing that could happen here, and it would end all the rumors, if Mariah isn't going to WWE, Mariah would probably return on this show.
Okay.
But then how does she get in the mix? Will it be like Toni Storm versus Mercedes versus Mariah at All In? I don't know. But FTR versus Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. I'm going to go with FTR. Even though Nigel's leaving the commentary desk.
I don't know if I'm just too tired to respond. I just don't care. I like FTR. So.
FTR. The heels again. The bad guys.
I'll pick them.
Daniel Garcia's upset that they changed their ways.
Is he the dancer?
Yes, he dances. And he's not the TNT champion no more. Adam Cole is. I almost forgot. Now Nigel left commentary. You got involved, and FTR said, "Why don't both of you wrestle both of us?" And now that's what's happening.
It'd be a shame if a real tag team lost this match. So I hope FTR wins.
I didn't even know this was on the card till right now. And guys, understand that we're filming this Sunday night. By next Saturday, there might be like 3 more matches added to this card. Not going to be part of the predictions. Same thing for Saturday night's main event. We go over it. Like, there might be matches added this week that won't be part of the predictions. Sick Macho Man check. The Undertaker.
I think this is WWE.
Yeah, but still shout out 500 level and tapped in sneakers and everybody else. Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet in a stretcher match. I couldn't tell you why they're having this. Ricochet just fought Zach Gowen on Dynamite, the one-legged guy. I don't know where Mark Briscoe gets involved in this. Maybe I missed something, but
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be a match of the night.
Ricochet versus Mark. It could be. Listen, both these guys are super talented. There's nothing like I think Mark Briscoe's great, and I think Ricochet's great. So it's not.
I think that'll be match of the night. I will go with Ricochet because does he still got the fur coat?
No, I don't think he ever had a fur coat.
Is he still making the weird sound effect?
Aha! Nothing. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going with him.
Yeah, I think Ricochet needs to win. I don't know, the way they book Mark Briscoe is that like
people are like embracing him a little bit more now because he's annoying and like they're accepting him.
Yeah, I guess so. No? I'll say this: he's better presented and has been able to show more personality and character in AEW than he ever did in WWE. So whether you hate him or whether you like him, at least you don't forget that he's there.
Yeah, he's unforgettable.
You know what I mean? When WWE, sometimes you're like, oh yeah. Here, you don't forget, like, you know he's there.
WWE's too big.
Yeah, like, he wasn't the top guy there. Like, there is still potential that he could be a top guy. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he's more relevant here than he was in WWE, so I do think he's doing better here.
Yeah.
There is a match that's not on this card that I'm pretty sure is going to happen because they challenged him at the end of Dynamite this week. And it's Swerve, Samoa Joe.
Doesn't he have a faction? Like a
Samoa Joe?
A triple tag team.
So it's the Young Bucks and the Death Riders. So it's going to be like Moxley, Wheeler, Claudio, and the Young Bucks against Swerve, Samoa Joe.
Just like a Survivor Series match?
And Anarchy in the Arena. Everyone fights all over the place match. You know what I'm
talking about? Okay. Does that typically happen at that pay-per-view?
It has happened at this pay-per-view. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just going to quickly go look because it happened at the end of Dynamite. It's not on the official list of matches here on Wikipedia yet.
I saw it on your page. People
yeah. So, but it's been...
Okada came, right? He beat up someone?
Yeah, Okada's in it too.
Kenny Omega will be in it?
Omega. So you're right. Omega, Swerve, Samoa Joe.
So Omega is not part of the crew?
No, he's against the crew.
Okay.
Where are my Dynamite results? So,
yeah, they super kicked him. Kenny Omega years ago. Not years ago. Months ago?
Yeah, and they attacked him. Remember when he had the diverticulitis?
Yes. Wow. That's going to be probably a long, boring match.
No,
not long, boring. It's going to be a messy match.
So I'm probably like Will Hobbs, because that's part of the crew.
Who?
Will Hobbs, Samoa Joe, Shibata, Kenny Omega, and Swerve against the Young Bucks, Moxley, Yuta, Claudio,
Pac,
and Okada, I think.
Not Pac.
Pac's out right now.
What?
And they're shorter guy too, so there's probably someone else on this end, maybe Hook or something. But
Hook's a bad guy?
He's a good guy with the Samoa Joe guys. So all I know is there's going to be an Anarchy in the Arena match, and I feel like the good guys are going to win.
Okay.
And then last but not least, the Hurt Syndicate against Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara.
The Hurt Syndicate?
Bobby Lashley and Shelton.
Yeah, they're fighting who?
Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes.
The Goldust.
Yes, and they're for the AEW Tag Team Champions. And Sammy and Dustin are the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions.
What the hell?
Yeah, the Sons of Texas.
MJF's not fighting?
MJF will probably be involved.
He got accepted, right?
Yeah. And this week he's signing his contract, so we'll see what happens. So join the Hurt Syndicate. The best is when he got accepted, he jumped in Bobby Lashley, wrapped his legs around him and hugged him. That's fine.
I think I saw your clip on that. I guess Syndicate. Hurt Syndicate.
It's late. It's late, folks. The lack of enthusiasm is because it's late. I'm going to go with the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, sure. That's what we'll say.
What do you mean? The lack of enthusiasm is because it's very late out here. So I'm going to go with the Hurt Syndicate as well. Okay, Saturday night's main event. Let's go over it. It's actually a pretty stacked card. I can say some of the matches off the top of my head as I think right now. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest inside of a steel cage. They stacked this. So far, I also want to mention there isn't a women's match. We'll talk about that in a second. But Go ahead.
Ooh, no women's match.
No, there probably will be one booked this week, but
I like both these guys, Drew and Damien. But Drew won the last match, right?
Yeah.
I think Damien will take this one.
Okay, I'm gonna say. No, did Drew? He won the Mania match.
He won the Mania match, the street fight.
Yeah, then I guess Damien. But honestly, like
But what's the outcome here? Are they setting something up for SummerSlam?
This is probably the blow off. I would guess. Do they have 3 matches or 2 now?
I don't know. I'm assuming maybe 2. I'm gonna go with Damien.
Technically 2, yeah, because they were in the Fatal 4 with Jacob and LA Knight. I'll go Damien too. I want Drew to win. I'm more of a Drew fan than I'm a Damien fan, just to be honest. But yeah, I guess you're right in the point that Drew won the last one. John Cena versus R-Truth for the WWE Champion. It doesn't even say it's for the championship actually. It's just a singles match.
It's gonna be Cena. Who else?
You don't have faith in R-Truth?
No, I do think Little Jimmy's gonna interfere.
Just one more fight. And it'll be
that was a great
history. I'm telling you, that's it. People are like, it doesn't make sense. How does it match it? I'm like, no, it matches.
Yeah.
Because that video works John great. Cena's the leader.
It works for...
And now R-Truth is going to have to fight you one last time.
That video was great. And then I'm a basketball fan, so that Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, the Indiana Pacers. And
I don't even watch basketball.
New York Knicks.
Yeah.
They got... Because they're playing each other now in the finals.
Everyone was sending the meme, and I think they expect me to post it, but I'm like, I don't want to mess up, guys.
Yeah, so they played the song for that, too. That was cool. What was the question?
Cena's going to win.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Cena's going to win.
But it's going to be a fun match. Some people are mad about it. Like, why are we doing this like 4-way match with R-Truth? I'm like, it's funny. It's like long-term booking.
Good for him.
This has been calling him a childhood hero for so long. It's Cena's last year. Let R-Truth have a match against Cena.
Yeah, Cena's going to go through his friends, right?
Yeah, and then, after it's all said and done, like, it's at a Saturday night's main event. Like, it's not like a major pay-per-view. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, it'll be good.
Then we have CM Punk and Sami Zayn against Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker in a tag team match.
Braun, Seth, they're going to win. Sami turns on Punk, hits him with the sealed chair. That's plan B. That's it. The new crew begins.
All right. I do think Sami's going to turn and join Seth and Braun. I think that's... I don't know. And then eventually go after Jay. Like, that's what I feel like is happening. I almost feel like if it's not SummerSlam, maybe Money in the Bank or something, but it's going to be Sami versus Jay, and Sami's going to be with Seth and Braun. That's my take on all that.
Yeah, I think we agree on that.
Or Sami screws Jay to let Seth win the belt, and then Sami and Jay go into a feud after that. That's another route you can go.
Yeah.
But
it is Saturday night main event, so they could just have a regular tag match.
And this is the most... Yeah, it is a regular tag match, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he can wait for his turn.
You can wait for his turn.
I have Money in the Bank.
Yeah, like the turn can still come later. Like maybe... He gets frustrated because they lose here or something to Seth and Braun.
I think Jay might lose the title.
I do think Seth and Braun win this because they're new, and I feel like they need to...
Yeah.
And maybe Sami takes the L, leaning more towards Sami getting frustrated with himself.
Punk losing, it doesn't do much for him. Win or lose.
Punk win or lose. Punk is in that Cena-Orton area now where it's like win or lose, like he's the person he is. Like Orton will always be Orton, Cena will always be Cena, Punk will always be Punk.
Punk will be a crybaby.
Yeah, like it just is what it is. No, he won't be a crybaby. He's the best in the world.
It's everyone else.
Regardless of what Dominic Mysterio said and kept increasing his age. That was a great interview, guys. If you haven't checked it out, check out Casual Conversations with the Classic with Dominic Mysterio. Check out Just Yapping, special episode last week.
Yeah.
A legal one.
I got filled. No.
You got filled? You got filled? Is that why you couldn't make the show?
No. Wrong's just a word. I couldn't make it, so our girl Mercedes Monet filled in for me.
I got filled.
Yeah.
There isn't a women's match on this. I talked about this already. But I think there's potential for 2 potential matches happening. If they want to pull the trigger, they could have Io and Rhea on the show, and it could be announced this week. If they want to pull the trigger, it could be Jade versus Naomi versus Tiffany, or even a Fatal 4-Way with Nia. I just think there's another match that could be on the show. Or maybe one of the United States with the Intercontinental title matches. Like, I don't think Becky and Lyra will happen right away. Yeah, on Saturday night's main event. But maybe Zelina defends against Chelsea or somebody, Charlotte or Alexa prior to the show. But outside of that, there's not a women's match on the show yet. But maybe
Cora Jade returns.
Elena Black?
Cora Jade.
I'm just looking at the last couple of Saturday night's main events, and most of them had 6 matches or 5 matches. So we'll see. Last but not least, Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight title.
So.
Yeah, Jay's retaining. Gunther already came out and said, whoever wins, I'm facing you. So, we're going to get Jay Gunther part 5 or 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Whatever part it is. And that's Saturday's main event. It's a loaded Saturday.
That'll be a good card.
Yeah. Nothing else to add. Any new toys? Or you got like a whole new set of toys and cool stuff?
I've got, what do I got coming in? I don't know what number it is. I think 25. Great Muda, The Rock, Final Boss Rock, Damian Priest. That'll be up maybe tomorrow or the next couple of days. I got another old cold
Steve Austin?
Old cold Steve Austin. Actually, I got to send you some pictures. Someone made some funny random memes. You can post them. But what was I talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about. Guys, it is 1:04 a.m.
Yeah.
I've been here since like 6 o'clock.
No. Well, I'm going to finish my sentence. Otherwise.
Bada ho gaya. That's it.
Yeah, bada ho gaya. I've got some old school stuff.
Like those two old guys in the Sesame Street that will sit in the balcony and watch the shows and do a commentary.
Yeah. And the worst part is we didn't even do much today.
And honestly, like, whatever. Wrestling's cool, man. Wrestling's cool. Cool stuff's happening. AEW's doing well. They're getting back in the swing of things. Honestly, there's only one.
Who says they're doing well?
I think they're doing well. If there's one thing I would complain about is I think a lot of people agree with me. I'm not even like over the Death Riders thing. Like, just get the belt off Moxley. Let's get this show on the road. And shout out to Darby Allin.
Where's that guy?
He climbed Mount Everest. He made it to the top. He accomplished his goal.
Well, that's why he's not wrestling?
Yeah, he went to go climb Mount Everest.
Man, give me that contract.
The Mount Everest.
Tony Khan, please. I'll be announcer or commentator.
You guys need
I'll set up your ring.
AEW India commentary team?
Yeah. Mainu phone kar la.
AEW Punjabi?
Yeah. You need India or AEW out in India. We'll do it. We'll
dub over the commentary.
Yeah.
And then, I'm going to wrap this up. This is over. Check out RainsCityToys.com to see what toys he has. Always check out the Wrestling Classic. Check out all the YouTube stuff. I reorganized all the descriptions and everything. But really quickly, because we didn't talk about it last week, Sabu passed away.
Yeah.
I did post some clips about Sabu. Sabu's the man. Like I said, I don't know if you agree with me, at a time when we didn't have a lot of like South Asian, Middle Eastern people that looked like us on TV, he was the closest thing to it. Yeah. I was like, oh, he looks some sort of like he could have lived in India at some point, and he was announced from Bombay, India. So like,
he was good. He was
cool, man.
He really was. When you thought ECW, he's like one of the first guys I
remember. When I had him on my show, I checked out in the archives. My casual conversation with Sabu was closer with Tim Han Rivera, but like when I had Sabu on the show, I told him that like the Indian thing, like you were the closest thing, but also like one of my earliest memories, my brother used to record on the Raws and Nitros. Like I didn't really get to see ECW till later, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I was like, if this ECW fan, like I found ECW in like 1999, but I remember seeing Sabu on Nitro, and I remember seeing Sabu specifically fall off the Raw logo when the entrance was that Raw logo, and I like told him that story because I'm like, I know it's the most like random thing, but like that's just like a core Sabu memory, but even though you slipped and fell, like I thought it was like intentional. And that was the thing about Sabu. Even when he did things that didn't go as planned, like, oh, he's so genocidal, homicidal, suicidal, like it just made sense that he would slip or fall or wouldn't go as planned.
Yeah.
He was one of the first guys you saw jumping through people to tables and doing all the crazy stuff.
It's, obviously a lot of wrestlers have passed away, but like Razor's definitely up there. Scott Hall is like core memory.
Savage was a big one for me.
Yeah, Savage.
Savage, Piper, Hall, 3 big ones for me.
Yeah.
Dusty a little bit, even though I wasn't the biggest Dusty fan. I don't know why.
Dusty was a little bit out of my timeline. I mean, I knew he was. Yeah. But Sabu, it was weird. You're just like, that was my childhood.
Yeah.
Right? You really remembered Sabu. So it was unfortunate, but he'll be a legend.
And he was always around. He was one of those guys that was always around, and he was always working the indies if he wasn't in a major company.
Yeah, he put on a pretty gruesome match just before he passed away,
with George
right? At GCW?
Yeah, GCW, George Janela, Spring Break. And on my show, he really, like, if you were to make a synopsis about my episode when I did interview him, a lot of it was him repeatedly saying, I just want to have one last match. I have one more match in me. I want to do it. So regardless of what everyone's saying, I don't like to get into all of that. Just obviously, I just want to respect him and let him rest in peace and respect his memory. But I'm glad he got to have that one last match that he really wanted to have.
Yeah.
Because that was the main thing he kept, even like before we wrapped up. He's like, oh yeah, but like I'm gonna have one more match, and he got to have one more match. Yeah. So
he seemed like a real one,
and
like,
he was honestly. And
he was like
he could be grumpy. Sometimes you could pick him on the wrong day, but that's like everybody, right? That's what I'm trying to say, right? Because I have stories about Sabu too, where like he was being a little difficult, but at the end of the day, like he was always cool. And even by the time like he came on the show at the end of it, he's like, oh, actually, no, like I had a lot of fun. Like this is better than I expected. Like he straight up said, like this is better than I thought it was gonna be, because he was like kind of nervous and stuff. Because he was just a nervous guy talking to people he didn't really know that well. But anyone that was in the industry, anyone that was a wrestler that met him, like that wrestler to wrestler bond, like once you were like to the girls too, but like just because it's an old school term, once you were one of the boys, he always had respect for you and tried to help those people out. So seemed like good too. Didn't
I did catch that clip of Taz mentioning him on AEW. It was kind of sad watching Taz getting a little emotional about this guy, but he's a legend.
Yeah, well, they had one of the best feuds in ECW. If you go back in the history books and check it out, like Taz and Sabu was like a thing. Sabu and RVD as a tag team. That's a thing I fondly remember as a child. So, like, anyways, rest in peace, Sabu. I just wanted to make sure we touched on it because we didn't talk about it last week. And shout out to all my people that were friends of Sabu. I know there's like Jay and everybody else that I know that are friends of Sabu that were, hurt by this quite a bit. And sending my condolences to all, obviously his family and everyone as well. Legend, absolute legend. Part of our childhood. Like one of those characters that like maybe we took for granted here and there. And you're like, oh man, but he was so cool.
We'll never see.
He was just so like cool, like and I don't even think you can really get away with a character like that the way he did. Being the Sheik's nephew and wearing that attire, and still everybody rocked with you. Like, like most times those characters easily get stereotyped to just automatically be heels. Like he looked that way, and he didn't play like as much as the character could be considered, because he wasn't even like Arabian or Arabic.
He's Italian,
Muslim.
right?
No, he's Lebanese and part something else, I think German or something.
Well, I thought he was Italian.
But he was still like Middle Eastern with the Lebanese part. Like he's still, don't get me wrong, but it was just interesting that he was like beloved by a lot of fans out there. Even though he's a character that, for the most part, when a character like that walks on the scene, people are like, bad guy. But anyways, rest in peace, Sabu, guys. Appreciate you guys joining us. Hope you guys enjoy all the fun wrestling this weekend, Saturday night's main event, and AEW's Double or Nothing,
which I will not be watching.
We'll probably be watching. I'll probably come here to watch it. We'll see you guys all next time. We'll probably recap it here on next week's TWC show.
We'll try to do it the same day.
We will. Right after. All right. Sounds good, everybody. We'll see you all next time.